the only one that couldn't be there.
Yeah.
And he was concerned about it. And I think we probably had just as many, was everybody at behind us? Two
Oh,
months
at
ago?
Queen property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sharon, you were there.
I was
Yeah,
there.
You know,
yeah,
Chris? So there was 5 of us at that one.
yeah.
You'll let me know, Heather?
Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Well, I guess the announcement will start slowing down now after when the rates drop, and there won't be any.
Oh, they'll keep going until the.
Totally
Are
done.
they going through the rate?
Friday. No,
No, that's what I
they're
thought.
doing the budget next
28?
Thursday,
28, yeah.
and then the rate will drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 4th.
So they'll be rushing a few
Okay.
announcements over the next week.
Okay?
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Call a regular meeting of council for the City of Kenora to order. At this time, I would ask Councillor Goss to read the land acknowledgement and blessing, please.
As we gather, we recognize that we are on Treaty 3 lands which are steeped in rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations and Métis people today. We continue to be thankful for the partnerships with Indigenous people. We give thanks for the many blessings we enjoy in the City of Kenora. We seek wisdom in our minds, clearness in our thinking, truth in our speaking, and always love in our hearts, so that we may try always to unite the citizens of Kenora. Let these principles guide us in our decision-making.
Thank you, Councillor. At this time, public information notices as required under Notice Bylaw 144-2007. The public is advised of Council's intention to adopt the following at today's meeting. Adopt a new election sign bylaw. Adopt a new 5-year strategic plan. Amend the investment policy statement under authorizing bylaw 47-2020. Adopt a new schedule of rates for Lake of the Woods Cemetery. Amend the 2022 capital budgets to supplement the funding required for the municipal paving capital construction projects by way of reallocating the following. ICIP funds in the amount of an additional $788,176, and NORDS funds in the amount of additional $164,039 for the Railway Street Phase 2, federal gas tax funds in the amount of an additional $137,000, and future land development reserves in the amount of an additional $52,000 for the Highway 17 East project. This time I'd ask if any member of council wishes to declare a pecuniary interest or the general nature thereof, either on items on today's agenda or from a previous meeting, or from a meeting in which a member was not in attendance. Seeing none, I call for the reading of resolution number 1.
Resolution number 1, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Poirier, that the following minutes of the Council of the City of Kenora be adopted as circulated. Regular Council, March 22nd, 2022. Special Council, March 29, 2022.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is carried. Presentations and deputations. Today we have none. Additions to the agenda. We have a tender award for the sewer and water rehabilitation. Budget amendment and tender award for municipal paving. And tender award for line painting contract. Contract extension for sewer and water reconstruction. Titan Contractors. And contract execution municipal paving Pioneer Construction and Police Costs Coalition. This time I'd ask for the reading of resolution number 2, please.
Resolution number 2, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that approval be hereby given for the following additional items to be added to today's agenda and discussed by Council. Tender award, sewer and water rehabilitation. Budget amendment and tender award, 2022 municipal paving works. Tender award, line painting contract. Contract execution, sewer and water rehabilitation, Titan Contractors, Kenora Limited. Contract execution, municipal paving, Pioneer Construction, and Policing Costs Coalition.
All in favor? Opposed? This is carried. Resolution number 2A.
That's 2A. It's the Titan contractors one? Okay, Councillor Van Wallen.
Resolution number 2A, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Goss, that the tender submitted by Titan Contractors in the amount of $3,423,615.50 plus HST for sewer and water reconstruction be hereby accepted.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is carried. At this time, I'd like to add that we received notification yesterday through the province of Ontario and the federal government that the city has been successful in accessing green infrastructure funding, which will provide us $1.35 million through both the combined through the federal and provincial governments to offset the costs of these projects. So it was part of an announcement that the Minister Haidu through the federal government announced yesterday, including a number of municipalities and First Nations communities. So that will absorb a big chunk of this cost. So thank you. Resolution number 2B.
Thank you, Your Worship. Resolution 2B, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that the tender submitted by Pioneer Construction Inc. in the amount of $3,156,094.94 plus HST be hereby accepted, and further that in accordance with notice bylaw number 144, 2007, public notice is hereby given that council intends to amend its 2022 capital budget at the regular meeting of council on April 19, 2022 to supplement the funding required for the municipal paving capital construction projects by way of reallocating the following: ISIP funds in the amount of an additional $788,176, and North funding in the amount of an additional $164,039 for Railway Street Phase 2, federal gas tax funds in the amount of an additional $137,000, and future land development reserve in the amount of an additional $52,000 for Highway 17 East, and further that council give 3 readings to a bylaw to amend the 2022 capital budget for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 2C.
Resolution number 2C, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McMillan, that the revised tender submitted by Northwest Lines Limited in the amount of $204,000 plus HST be hereby accepted.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 2D.
Your Worship, resolution number 2D, moved by myself, Rory, you gave me your resolution, sorry.
You want to continue?
No, I have a big one.
Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Poirier, that further to City Council accepting the bid of Titan Contractors related to the 2022 sewer and water reconstruction works, authorization be and is hereby given for the mayor and clerk to execute an agreement between the corporation of the City of Kenora and Titan Contractors Kenora Limited, and further that 3 readings be given to a bylaw for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Thank you. Resolution 2E.
Resolution 2E, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Poirier, that further to City Council accepting the bid of Pioneer Construction Incorporated related to the 2022 municipal paving program work, authorization be and is hereby given for the mayor and clerk to execute an agreement between the corporation of the City of Kenora and Pioneer Construction Inc., and further that 3 readings be given to a bylaw for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Resolution 2F.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think I drew the short straw today.
You did.
Resolution 2F, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, Whereas in 2015, the Ontario government introduced a cost formula for all municipalities using the Ontario Provincial Police to deliver local police services. And whereas the municipalities of Kenora, Sioux Lookout, and Pickle Lake serve as hubs for dozens of northern and remote communities, providing healthcare, pharmacy, education, legal, transportation, and other critical services for First Nations people living in a geographical area larger than the country of Germany. And whereas this cost formula fails to adequately recognize that the municipalities of Kenora, Sioux Lookout, and Pickle Lake serve a population 10 times the size of their respective municipal tax bases. And whereas the implementation of this cost formula has resulted in the municipalities of Kenora, Sioux Lookout, and Pickle Lake having by a significant margin the highest OPP community policing costs in all of Ontario. And whereas the median cost of all municipalities in Ontario that use the OPP to provide these same local police services is approximately $300 per property owner, while the cost charged to the municipalities of Kenora, Sioux Lookout, and Pickle Lake before any discounts have been 2.5 to 4.5 times higher. And whereas it is estimated that the municipalities of Kenora, Sioux Lookout, and Pickle Lake have collectively paid $30 million more for policing than the average cost paid in other municipalities in which the OPP provides these services. And whereas the monies paid out to the OPP for these unfair costs could have been invested in critical infrastructure projects such as shelter, housing, roads, bridges, and other community needs. And whereas every year since the cost formula's introduction, the municipalities of Kenora, Sioux Lookout, and Pickle Lake have repeatedly attempted to convince the provincial government that cost formula is unfair and an overwhelming financial burden on their communities. And whereas the response from the provincial government to these repeated requests have been different and remain unreasonable, and whereas we wish to work with the Government of Ontario to seek a solution that is financially sustainable for all our municipalities. Therefore, be it resolved that the municipal governments of Kenora, Sioux Lookout, and Pickle Lake form a coalition that to reduce the significant costs of providing police services in their respective communities, and further that we ask for all our local candidates in the provincial election held on June 2nd, 2022, and the leaders of their respective parties to commit to solving this issue and to deliver a solution to the coalition by the end of this calendar year.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is carried. Heather, will the media release will go?
It'll go right now.
All right, thank you. Resolution number 3.
Resolution number 3, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that Council hereby accepts the 2021 investment report that includes details of the City of Kenora General Fund investments.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 4.
Resolution number 4, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Goss. That Council hereby accepts the changes to the investment policy statement, IPS, for the City of Kenora Investments, and further that in accordance with bylaw number 144-2007, public notice is hereby given that Council intends to amend the investment policy statement, which was passed under authorizing bylaw number 47-2020, and further that bylaw number 37-2021 be hereby repealed, and further that Council give 3 readings to a bylaw for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 5.
Thank you, Your Worship. Resolution number 5, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that Council hereby accepts the monthly financial statements of the Corporation of the City of Kenora at February 28, 2022.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 6.
Resolution number 6, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McMillan. The council gives 3 readings to a bylaw to adopt a new election sign bylaw, and further that in accordance with notice bylaw number 144-2007, public notice is hereby given that council intends to adopt a new election sign bylaw, and further that bylaw number 30-2018 be hereby repealed.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 7.
Thank you, Your Worship. Resolution number 7, moved by Roy.
Sorry, Andrew. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Poirier, that council hereby accepts the 2022 to 2027 5-year corporate strategic plan charting our course.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried.
Check your bladder.
I did.
Resolution number 8.
Resolution number 8, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Poirier, that council of the city of Kenora hereby authorize the execution of a subordination and postponement agreement between the city of Kenora, Ontario Infrastructure and Lands Corporation, and Synergy North Corporation, and further that in relation to the outstanding note payable of $3,069,279, Synergy North be directed to make a principal payment of $500,000 each year starting in 2022 until the full balance is paid in 2027, and further that administration secure a written commitment from Synergy North in the form of a letter of understanding committing to the repayment plan to Kenora for the existing debenture, and further that the mayor and CAO be hereby authorized to execute these agreements, and further that the appropriate bylaw be passed for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 9.
Resolution number 9, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that 3 readings be given to a bylaw to appoint Kent Reedman, Fire Chief, as the Community Emergency Management Coordinator for the City of Kenora effective April 19th, 2022, and further, that Council appoints David Pratt, Deputy Fire Chief, as the alternate Community Emergency Management Coordinator for the City of Kenora, and further, that bylaw number 73-2021 be hereby repealed.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Resolution number 10.
Resolution number 10, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that council gives 3 readings to a bylaw to authorize the new schedule of rates to be used in connection with the Lake of the Woods Cemetery, and that the Ontario Regulation 30-11 Funeral, Burial and Cremation Services Act 2002, SO 2002, C33 provides that an owner of a cemetery may make bylaws for regulating the operation of the cemetery, and further that the Council of the Corporation of the City of Kenora hereby enacts as follows, that the attached Lake of the Woods Cemetery schedule of rates be hereby adopted, that bylaw number 87-2020 existing rates be hereby repealed, and further that 3 readings be given to a bylaw for this purpose. I'd like to make a comment, Your Worship, that the city was subsidizing the cemetery to a tune, I think it was $170,000, and these increase in rates will eliminate that subsidy over the years. Thanks.
Thank you. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 11.
Your Worship, resolution number 11, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that council hereby authorizes a funding application to the Ontario Trillium Foundation under its Resilient Communities Fund, and further that council approves any cost overruns associated with this project.
All in favor? Opposed? Thank you. Motion is carried. Resolution number 12.
Resolution number 12, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor McMillan, that council hereby authorizes the mayor and clerk to execute a collaboration agreement between the corporation of the City of Kenora and Science North, and further that 3 readings be given to a bylaw for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 13.
Resolution number 13, your worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Poirier, that council approves an application by the Muse to the Seniors Community Grant to provide funding for free subsidized arts heritage programming at the Lake of the Woods Museum and the Douglas Family Art Center from October 2022 to March 2023.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Resolution number 14.
It's with great pleasure, Your Worship, that I present this motion. This is a step forward in marketing in the city, and I'm very pleased with the efforts of a local business and their collaborations. So, resolution number 14, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that council hereby accepts the new tourism destination brand.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 15.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Poirier. The council supported a funding agreement with the Federation of Canadian Municipalities for the development of a sustainability action plan, and further that the Sustainability Advisory Committee led the development of the multi-sectoral plan, which included public input, and further that council hereby accepts the Sustainability Action Plan as prepared by Kennedy Consultant. And Your Worship, just a short comment that the Sustainability Action Plan is the city's continued commitment to climate action and addressing some of the issues, and this is also integrated into our strategic plan, so it takes a significant place. And I want to acknowledge the efforts of city staff in ensuring that this was developed and taking place, and community members. Thank you.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 16.
Resolution number 16, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan. That council hereby approves the application for zoning bylaw amendment, file number D14-2022-03, to change the zoning of the subject properties from ML Light Industrial Zone and R2 Residential, second density zone with HL Hazard Land Zone overlay and an EP Environmental Protection Zone overlay to GC General Commercial Zone with a HL Hazard Land Zone overlay and an EP Environmental Protection Zone overlay. And further, the council gives 3 readings to a bylaw to that effect.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 17.
Thank you, Your Worship. Resolution number 17, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that council gives 3 readings to a bylaw to appoint David Pratt as the Deputy Fire Chief for the City of Kenora, effective March 28, 2022.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Kyle, given the fact that the next 3 are housekeeping items, I'll leave with you whether the appropriate director wants to speak to them after the resolution is read. Resolution number 18.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Poirier, that 3 readings be given to a bylaw to execute an agreement between the Corporation of the City of Kenora and GW Architecture Incorporated for the provision of Phase 1 and Phase 2 design and construction documentation and Phase 3 construction administration for the Operations Center renovations, and further that the Mayor and Clerk be authorized to execute this agreement.
I can speak to that quickly if you'd like. At the Operations Center, we're looking at some office space to accommodate that office space. It's very important that we have the proper environmental conditions. So as part of these detailed design that we're looking at, it's going to be air flow studies, temperature studies, all the things that's going to change the internal building envelope. We want to make sure that it's comfortable with the staff in there and that the rooms are environmentally controlled appropriately.
Thanks, Stace. I'll call the question then. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Resolution number 19.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Poirier, that 3 readings be given to a bylaw to execute an agreement between the Corporation of the City of Kenora and Brooke McIlroy Incorporated for the provision of professional services, and further that the mayor and clerk be authorized to execute this agreement.
All right. Any questions, council? Okay. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. And resolution number 20.
Resolution number 20, your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that Council of the City of Kenora hereby accepts the February 2022 Kenora Water and Wastewater Systems Monthly Summary Report as prepared by City Administration.
Kevin, is there anything here?
Yes, Your Worship and Council, I just want to point out in section 3, with the amount of snow that we've had to deal with this season in February, you can see the amount of digs that also took place. So the roads department had to support the water distribution and collection team. So, under section 3, you can see those great efforts that were put in with the team collaborating.
Thank you, Kevin. Any questions, council? All right, I'll call the vote. All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is approved. Resolution number 21.
Resolution number 21, Your Worship, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Poirier, that council hereby accepts the tender submitted by RAS Facility Services in the amount of $636,197.53 plus HST for the janitorial servicing of multiple city facilities for 2022, 2023, and 2024, as outlined in their tender submission, and further that council authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a contract with RAS Facility Services for the delivery of the services, and further that a bylaw be passed for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Carried. Resolution number 22.
Resolution number 22, Your Worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that council hereby accepts the tender submitted by New System Building and Property Services Limited in the amount of $77,328 plus HST for the servicing of public restrooms as outlined in the tender submission be hereby accepted, and further that council authorize the mayor and clerk to enter into a contract with New System Building and Property Services Limited for the delivery of the services, and further that a bylaw be passed for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried. Resolution number 23.
Thank you, Your Worship. Resolution number 23, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor McMillan, that Council of the City of Kenora hereby accepts the proposal from Enterprises Urban Blue Inc. related to the supply and installation of a self-cleaning washroom unit, and further, that authorization is hereby given for the mayor and clerk to execute an agreement between the Corporation of the City of Kenora and Enterprises Urban Blue Inc., and further, that 3 readings be given to a bylaw for this purpose.
All in favor? Opposed? Resolution is carried. Thank you. And then on my agenda, it says that was done earlier. Thank you.
I just made it publicly known, that's all.
This time I call for resolution number 24, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I think I drew the second short straw on this one. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Poirier, that the following bylaws be now read a first and second time and approved in their present form and presented for third and final reading. 30-2022 confirmatory, 31-2022 investment policy statement, 32-2022 election sign bylaw, 33-2022 Synergy North shares, 34-2022 CEMC appointment, 35-2022 cemetery rates and fees, 36-2022 collaboration agreement Science North, 37-2022 zoning bylaw amendment D14-22-03, 1439 Railway Street, number 38-2022 deputy fire chief appointment, number 39-2022 contract agreement GW Architecture Incorporated, Operation Center Renovations, 40-2022 contract agreement Brooke McIlroy Incorporated, Professional Services Pocket Park, 41-2022 contract agreement New Systems Building and Property Services Limited, Janitorial Services, 42-2022 contract agreement RAS Facility Services Parks Public Washrooms, number 43-2022 contract agreement Enterprises Urban Blue Inc. Self-Cleaning Washroom, number 40-2022 budget amendment 2022 Municipal Paving Program, 45-2022 contract agreement Titan Contractors Kenora Limited, Sewer and Water Reconstruction, number 2022 contract agreement Pioneer Construction Municipal Paving Program.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. We have no notices of motion at this time, and proclamations we have none. At this time, we'll go around the table for any public announcements, and I'll start with Councillor Poirier, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a note, as we were going through the meeting today, we noticed that there was the adoption of several important documents. And I just wanted to shout out to all the staff and stakeholders that were involved in the new branding program, which I really like. I've heard a lot of positive comments about it in the community. The other one is the Sustainability Action Plan and the work that was done on that. It's long overdue, but it's here now. And to sort of wrap that into everything is the strategic plan. So now we have that 5-year document to move the city forward. And I'm hoping that that allows us to start looking at a process which I know we are, or staff was starting on, but to look at when we're budgeting and making decisions and looking at strategic planning and tactical planning over the next couple to 5 years, that we have our vision, and that'll help us in planning better as we move forward. So kudos to everybody, all the staff. I know they did a tremendous amount of work on this. And also, I know on the strategic plan and the branding, I think Councillor Goss had mentioned about outside parties and stakeholders that participated. So thanks very much for that. I think these are very important documents moving forward, not only for the rest of this council, but for subsequent councils going forward. I think it's a very good move on the city's part, and hopefully everybody looks forward to operating within those parameters. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor. Councillor McMillan.
Yes, thanks. If I may add on to Councillor Poirier, that I think it's kind of timely that it's Earth Day week this week, and Friday is Earth Day, and it's timely in adopting the Sustainability Action Plan and our Strat Plan. The theme for this year's Earth Day is Invest in Our Planet, with the key elements being acting in a bold way, innovate in a broad way, and implement in an equitable manner. And I think I feel confident in saying, and again with Councillor Poirier's permission, to add that the city is bold in striking forward with a climate action plan. And I feel very confident that with our staff and partnerships that we have, we're going to move forward in this way. So with that, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Smith, please.
Nothing today, Mayor, thank you.
Councillor Goss.
Yes, I would like to point out that people have been noticing a flurry of announcements of a lot of projects on the go, and this runs everything from new housing starts very close to City Hall, some expression of interest on downtown properties, an awful lot of funding announcements that have come through in large part to the great work of staff and seeking these filling these applications and succeeding. We have an announcement of a Pocket Park Feast Day on Thursday, which would be where we would be, I suppose, unveiling the idea of the new self-cleaning washroom that we've just passed the legislation for. And there are an awful lot of projects on the go, and as I said, City Council and city staff have worked awfully hard to make this happen, and it's been a tough year and a half to 2 years with COVID, but now post-COVID, you can see that things are now getting going. We've got some traction, and there's a lot of awfully good stuff coming from the City of Kenora. So I'm very proud to be part of this group, and even prouder of the efforts of our staff that have really stepped it up over the last 6 to 8 months and developed and presented this fantastic opportunity for council. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Van Willingham.
Thank you. I concur with Councillor Goss on the different projects in the city going on here now. The one that just thrills me the most is the Central Park going ahead here now. It's been a number of years, it's been sitting here empty, and a lot of people never thought it would come again to have ice here, so. The staff did a real amazing job. He ran into lots of little roadblocks and stuff, but Stace and his gang put it all to good use, and now things are moving along that we should have ice there next year, unless there's something else that shows up. But staff did a great job, and they're looking forward to it. Thanks.
Thank you. Following up on that theme, yesterday the city was the recipient of 6 different grants from NOHFC funding through the province and through, they touched a whole gamut. We talked about Central Park. We received $500,000 to improve infrastructure and accessibility at 4 of the city parks. One of those projects will be, in addition to what Councillor Van Wellingham talked about, the Central Park Community Club, will also be, the goal here is to take that money, some of that money, and put in a playground equipment, which will just further enhance and make this a 4-season park, which the entire community will benefit from. We also received $500,000 to upgrade our baseball diamonds at the locations throughout the city, and the goal here is to not only to upgrade them, but to bring lighting and new lighting and upgrade lighting to the ones that currently exist. $500,000 to upgrades and improvements at the Keewatin Arena, $480,000 to upgrade and repair existing docks and build new docks at our beaches and facilities throughout the community. Follow up to a prior announcement a month and a half ago, the Norman Park will receive an additional $450,000 to build a the interpretive area of the park, which goes hand in hand with the fully accessible playground equipment, which was previously announced. $325,000 to the City of Kenora for the design consultant for the Harbourfront Business Development Plan. In addition to that, last week, the museum received a grant from NOHFC of approximately $400,000, again for the roof upgrades, accessible washrooms upgrades. These are all projects that were identified in our either the 2022 capital plan or our 5-year capital plan. So when you add on the announcement we talked about previously, the $1.35 million through the Green Fund for our sewer and water infrastructure, that means this week the city alone received $4.5 million, and that's a tremendous accomplishment. And again, as Councillor Goss and Van Wellingham noted, and actually all the councillors have, a lot of that is council provided the vision, staff ran with that vision, and staff, this is their reality. They brought home these grants, and our community is in a position now where we can continue to blossom and to build those dreams that we have for our entire community. So this is a great week for all, and congratulations to all. So thank you. At this time, I'd ask for the reading of resolution number 25, please.
25 or 26?
25.
25, please.
Your worship, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Poirier, that pursuant to Section 239 of the Municipal Act as amended, authorization is hereby given for council to move into a closed session at 12:39 p.m. to discuss items pertaining to the following: education and training members of council, 4 matters, CAO, Mayor, Developmental Services, KDSB. Thank you.
All in favor?